how much time do you really spend being and dwelling and embodying and immersing yourself in the world that you want to live in? We're all, from manifestation teachings and things like that, we're all kind of familiar with the idea of embodying the version of yourself you want to be and visualizing the things that you want to have in your own personal life. And that's all great and fine. There's nothing wrong with it at all. But sometimes when I get really muddled up in that, it honestly really helps me to come back to what is the world I want to live in? What is the feeling that I would love to have had from day one of my life? And what do I want the children of this world to experience? What do I wish that every single being on this planet had experienced from day one of their lives? What I would want is, can you imagine for a second here, just a feeling of connectedness and belonging, like you've always felt that you belong. Your gifts and talents have always been celebrated and supported. You have always been celebrated and supported. All of your needs have always been met. Not only your needs for your basic survival needs, but just all of your true heartfelt desires as well. And just a sense of safety and security and love. And that it's always been that way. It's always been that way for you. It's always been that way for every person around you. Every person understands that they are the source of everything in their reality and that they can source all of their own needs. So there's no competition or jealousy or feeling of lack. There's just sharing and appreciation and enjoyment and support and togetherness. And I believe this world is real. It's a real potential parallel reality for this entire planet, and that it's coming. That it's not only a thing that's real because it, exists in my imagination, which is all you really need, but it's something that is coming on as more of us really to embody this. And it's not that I decide to embody it because it's like a good thing to do, that makes me a good person because I, care about the collective. It's an understanding that it is all me. And it's an understanding that when I come from that place, the actions that I take, for example, in my business, they just feel more solid, more like I know I'm aligned. Oh gosh, it got really bright on my nose just now, this particular rock I'm sitting on. Let's see if I can make that a little less harsh. If you've seen my other videos at this point that I'm recording this one, I don't have very many yet, but I like to make content about content creators, well, in particular, because that's a thing that I have done for a long time. Have online businesses, people who are working in an online space. And I know a lot of us who are doing this kind of thing, we want a certain outcome for our personal lives. We do want to have an impact in the world, and we want to be appreciated for our work and our talents and to help people to achieve their goals. But we really want also like a business that is going to give us financial security and freedom and all of those things. But I know that from my experience, and probably this is going to resonate with you if you have found this video, is that you've been doing this for a while, and maybe you've even had some success and you've put a lot of time and effort into it. And maybe you've had financial success and maybe you haven't, but there just is something, it's just not quite it. And this is kind of the place that I have come to. And when I'm deciding to switch gears, like, okay, this particular type of business that's really based on Instagram and things like that, I'm just kind of over it. I'm over just being kind of a celebrity, that whole parasocial relationship thing where people are like, oh my God, you're so great and your lifestyle is so great and all of those things. And wanting something that's more deeply meaningful to me. I had to really slow down and there's still quite a lot of advice out there, right? And it's not bad. There's nothing wrong with it. And it's really still easy, even for me, to get very sucked into seeing an influencer or somebody who has a very successful online business and to say, oh my gosh, this woman just makes, she posts a reel every day or a story every day and makes piles of money, and she's teaching me exactly how to do it. All I have to do is copy her formula, and then I too will have this success. And that's probably true, that if you do those things, that you will have the success, or maybe you won't, because it is kind of an energy thing. And then you might feel like, oh, but why is this not, I'm trying to do it, why is it not working for me? Why can't I manifest the same kind of success as this person? You try to put yourself in that abundance mindset. I need to think about how I have a successful business. My business is booming. Everybody's telling me that they love my stuff and they're buying my things and all of that stuff that we want, right? But this is where you have to really distinguish between what is useful advice and what's distraction or entertainment. Oh, hi little butterfly friend. It's just landed right on my phone that I'm recording on. Bye. And so how do you discern? Because especially when somebody promises that you can do something very quickly, but then you know deep down that you kind of just want something deeper. I know that's the case for me. I wanted something deeper. This is why coming back to that, does doing this activity actually contribute to the world that I want to live in? And I don't mean contribute create the world, but is it a reflection of if I already lived in a world where I felt safe, secure, being the fullest expression of myself, having plenty of space and time and freedom to fully express what I feel that I'm here to express, and something that's lasting? When I see people that have this massive success, they may have been in business for 10 years. It doesn't always take that long, of course, but is this something that I still, in the best of my estimation, think that will still be meaningful to me in 10 years? And it's also okay to change. It's don't be afraid of having to pivot at some point in your life. That's likely to happen. But I've learned to not take any action towards the new thing until I feel fairly solidly that this does actually match with the energy of the world that I want to live in. It's very different from taking the action based on the lifestyle I want to live, if that makes sense. So like if I say, okay, well, I'm going to make these 5 Instagram reels this week because I'm embodying the version of myself who has abundance and makes sales every day, and each one of my reels gets 6 million views. So these are the kinds of things that you might like be visualizing or thinking about. And I used to do that kind of thing, and I did get it. I did have success in that. I've had reels pop off and make 6 million, get 6 million views and actually make me thousands more dollars. But it was so short-lived and hollow, and at a point I just didn't want to do the work that was required in order to keep generating that anymore. It got boring and just like, you know, it didn't feel like my whole self anymore. And so I wasn't willing to do it. And so I've just come to this place after so many years of putting a lot of time into social media, particularly Instagram, of knowing that external validation and those superficial things are just not enough. They're not aiming high enough. They're not aiming high enough for yourself or for the world. Because can you feel the difference between like embodying that type of a world and then moving from that place, deciding that this is actually fact, this is a real thing, and this is the world that you actually live in now. And so it's safe for you to relax and express fully from what is in your heart, and know that you will be supported in all of the ways that you need, so abundantly so. Knowing it, know that that is what you get to have, and you don't, therefore, think about how much time you save filtering out all of that distraction, all of that, like, here's how you write a good Instagram hook to stop people from scrolling. How do you interrupt their scrolling so that they click on your thing? And usually it has something to do with money, you know. I'm not saying that those tactics are bad, but you really just have to listen to yourself, you know. I'm making this video for YouTube, and is it a bad thing for me to learn how to make an eye-catching title or a thumbnail? I don't know, you know, that's part of my journey. Like, how much time and energy do I want to put into those things? And I honestly, with AI, if they could do it for me, how do I feel about that? It's all having to test that out for myself. And by test it out, it's not just looking at metrics. It's how does this feel to me in my body? This is the only real technology that I really need, is how does it feel? And I don't move until it feels resonant, it feels good in my body. And what I do in the meantime, when I'm not feeling that as far as an action to take in my business, is I go for a walk with my dog, which is what I'm doing right now, by the way. I go for a walk with my dog. I shore things up in my regular life, you know, just doing the basic stuff, doing some organizing, some to get deep organizing. That's another topic that I actually really love to talk about, because I know that I could have used, or I do use some practical tools that I learned from people. And so I think I have, as I come up with practical tools, I love to share those. And my number one thing that I love the most is bullet journaling as a practical tool for just organizing your to-do list in a way that is visually beautiful. And I love that it's an analog tool rather than a digital thing on your phone, because we all know what a minefield of distractions your phone can be anytime you have to pick it up for something, although the cell phone's great for a lot of other stuff. So that's what I want to leave you with today, is to give yourself permission to slow down and commit to yourself that you're not going to do your business that way anymore. You're not going to hustle and do the next trendy thing that promises you that you're going to make, your first $1,000 this week by doing advertising if it's not what feels truly aligned for you. It might be what's aligned for you. I don't know. Do other people have success with it? Yes. Let's see. The dog just knocked over my tripod. Do people have success with it? Yes. And that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with it. But I'm talking to the people who really have a high vision for themselves and their life and the work that they want to do. And they will accept nothing less than complete fulfillment, freedom, and security in every single area of their life, including your business. And that means, to me, it also means that the activities related to my business, they have to not feel like a chore. There's going to be some things that feel like a chore that are like, you know what I mean? The bookkeeping, the things like that maybe one day you get to outsource those. But the actual creation of content, I don't want it to feel that way. I want it to feel enlivening. I want to feel like I'm really doing exactly what I want to be doing. So, which is how I feel about it right now, in this moment, making this video. What I want to talk about just naturally bubbles up because I'm already out here doing exactly what I wanted to do today, which is to go take my dog for a hike and let her swim around in this beautiful creek here in Tennessee, where I live. So that's part of what I teach also, of course, in my bullet journaling course, and what I talk about in my videos all the time is to make sure that you are doing and living your life the way that you want to now, not later. And then what you need to do to have the business that you actually want will become clear. You just have to have trust in that. But it will not come from that hustle mindset of like, okay, well, because this is the work mindset. This is the employee mindset. Even if it doesn't take a whole lot of your time, even if it's like, okay, I only work 2 hours a week and I make $30,000 a month. Do you feel fulfilled in that 2 hours of work per week that you're doing? Do you really? Is this a legacy that you really want? Does it match the embodiment of the world that you want to see? Because if it doesn't, then most likely you're going to get burnt out actually doing all the work that it takes to get to the point where you're only working 2 hours a week. Usually that's not how you start out. You start out with a whole lot of hustle. And just demand it from yourself that you get to enjoy your life and you get to enjoy the work that you're doing right now. It really can be that way. So that's what I want to leave you with, my friends. So go ahead, and if bullet journaling is a thing that calls to you, I didn't specifically talk about it, but very briefly, it's just a way to organize your to-do list that is customizable to you and beautiful. And I love to, and it's so simple. The way that I do it is I use stickers and washi tape, which is a decorative tape, and colored markers to decorate it. But I don't do drawing really at all. I wouldn't say I'm not artistic. I am artistic actually, but I don't want to spend time drawing. If you want to, you can. But I just want to tell you that you can make it look beautiful without having to draw. In fact, hold on, I have it with me. I'm going to show it to you. So just to show you real quick, this is my bullet journal for this week. You can see I've added a whole lot of stickers to it, and washi tape. That's what this thin tape here is. And here's my weekly spread for next week. And then the week after. And isn't it so fun? You just kind of have all of these, it looks completely different every week, and it's customizable to how it is going on in your life. So I have business and personal, and I have 3 different businesses. That's why I have a big section here for one, and then I have these 2 are tasks related to those other 2 businesses. And if at some point I might actually drop all of the tasks related to this big section and organize it differently. And that's what's so cool about it, is it evolves with you over time. And you can customize it exactly the way you want to suit your needs. But as you can see, I'm only using basically tape and colored markers and stickers to decorate it. So it barely takes any time, and it's so easy, and it puts me in a flow state to just do it. Just all you're doing is choosing like stickers and design elements that are like fun and pretty to you. And so I just feel delighted every single time I look at it. That's why I love talking about bullet journaling. Not because I thought to myself, oh, what would be a useful thing that can make me money? It's like, what is the thing that I love to talk about, and I just can't shut up about the moment. So, but I really am going to shut up about it now. And if you feel called to, go ahead and check out that course. It's available by donation, so there's no risk. You can just give me $0 for it if you want to. And once again, that is the decision to make things available by donation has to do with the world that I truly want to live in, the economy that I want to see, that I want to bring into existence. And it's taking a little bit of faith, but also it brings a lot of simplicity, to be honest. I don't have to worry about the money, how much do I charge, all those things that I was taking up a lot of my mental space. Instead, I have to embody, like, what would it be like to actually have a business like this that feels successful, where people are giving based on what they truly feel called to give. And when I really sat with that, it felt so much better than thinking about all the psychology of pricing and thinking about the psychology of upsells and how you can, create FOMO and all of those kind of things. Like, I can just tune all that out as just distracting noise and just trust the generosity of people and know that that's the world I get to live in. Will I ever offer anything for a fixed price? Maybe. I don't know. It's just what I'm doing right now. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.